Hey, business calculus students. This is the big focus of Chapter 5. We have a situation here where you've got your time, so we've got time in different hours, and here's your velocity in miles per hour. And what we're going to do is we're going to estimate the distance traveled. So what we want to do for the first case here is we'd like to find an underestimate of distance traveled, where we're talking about time between 0 and 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at each interval of time. There are 3 intervals, from 0 to 2, from 2 to 4, and from 4 to 6, and we'll come up with an underestimate. We'll notice that what's happening here is that we notice for the first 2 hours, the lowest speed we're going is 50 miles an hour, and we can think of that going that speed for 2 hours. So we'd start with plus 2 times 50. Oops, meant to write a times there. Let's make that happen. And then we're going to add on an underestimate of what happens between 2 and 4. Between 2 and 4, the slowest speed we go is 60. And we go 60 miles an hour, we could say, for 2 hours. And finally, over the last interval, from 4 to 6, the slowest we're going is 80 miles an hour, and we do that for 2 hours. So that's 2 times 80. So that's 100 plus 120 plus 160. So that is 380 miles. Now I can do the same thing, and I can work for an overestimate. Over the same interval. And when I do this, over that first interval, from 0 to 2, I'll choose the faster speed. So that's going to be 2 times 60. On the next interval, from 2 to 4, I'll choose the faster speed. That's 80. So that's 2 times 80. Plus, again, on the last interval, between 4 and 6, I'll choose the faster speed. So that's 2 times 100. So that's 120 plus 160 plus 200. That's 480 miles. So those are 2 estimates. There's an there's an underestimate, there's an overestimate. We can think of these graphically, and I'll go back to the underestimate. We can say for the first 2 hours, we're traveling at 50 miles per hour. 2 times 50 is the area of that rectangle right there. And then for the next 2 hours, we're going at 60. 2 times 60 is that area. And finally, we're going at 2 times 80. That's that rectangle right there. And what we're saying is the blue area equals 380. But we can do the same thing with the overestimate. We can say for the first 2 hours we were really going 60 miles an hour. And then for the next 2 hours we were really going 80 miles an hour. And then for the last 2 hours we were going 100 miles an hour. And the red area is equal to 480. All right, what I want you to get out of this is the idea that given information like this, we can make estimates for the area, underestimates and overestimates, and we can connect those to areas on a graph where we're plotting velocity over here and time over here. And we'll do a lot more of this in class on Wednesday.